Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I can already tell you're
Awesome.
American. I can already tell you're American.
Thank you. Yep, straight from California.
I can literally tell. I've got a friend who literally is from my old school. He's literally American, and he literally had that exact same accent, and he's from California. So I'm like, you're all right, and I'm like, you're surely like California, like somewhere around that region.
Yeah, I'm actually from California. I've been here my whole life, so.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, so you're from Poland?
Yes.
Awesome. I love Poland. It's such an amazing country.
Cold.
Is it cold around this time?
100%.
Wow. Well, I mean, it is getting towards the winter, you know, so I'm assuming it's going to get kind of cold.
It's also pretty rainy. 7 degrees.
7 degrees? Whoa, that is cold.
I mean, you're like kind of orbit kind of thing. You're nearer to the equator than us, and like you're near Central America, and they're like all hot. So it's surely hot for you guys.
Yeah, it's a little hot over in California. I kind of live on the I live close to the ocean, so it gets a little colder than like anything like like LA or anything like that's kind of hotter.
What,
so
you're not in LA? I was like, well, like when this. Sorry for interrupting you, but
no problem.
Like when the only two cities that come to mind when you're from California is like either Los Angeles or San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, so I actually just live around 20 minutes away from there. So I'm more North California, where San Francisco is.
Yeah. It's 18 at your thing, kind of.
Oh, what'd you say?
It's 18 degrees for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about Celsius. We use Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I know, it's Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
I know.
So I think it's around 18 Celsius. I've been trying to learn the Celsius degrees because I have a lot of people over in Europe, that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
So, mate, how you doing?
Pretty good. School's
awesome.
Absolute pain. That's the only thing.
Well,
for you,
sometimes
that could be. For you, it's 64 in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's actually what it is right now. 64 degrees. So, around 18. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm glad to be commentating with you. I saw your commentary on, what was it, SBR, and I immediately checked you out because I knew that you were a great commentator, of course. I love the way that you're commentating, just with like your fellow commentators and also just on the action on track, and I was just like, I gotta get this guy on board to commentate on a league or something like that, and so I'm super happy to have you.
Yeah. The thing is that sometimes my voice could get so high pitched that if it's a big thing and you don't notice it, I'd probably be surprised. Maybe like, let's say it's like deep into the race, like middle of the race, you're focused on the top 10, and because I usually like going down the order, seeing what's going on down there, and it's usually. All the fights I usually commentate, it's usually the top 3 and usually the bottom ones, and that's it.
Okay.
The middles aren't ready to commentate. Sorry.
Yeah, so with this league, I guess it depends really on like the racing, but this league is one of the best leagues I've ever commentated on, because the reason why is that there's always like 9 contenders for the win. And they're always like all the way up there, and the action is pretty intense and stuff like that. It's pretty fun to commentate. I love commentating on this league, so I think you and me will have a fun time commentating. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're doing the same.
Yes, I am actually, and I'm actually feeling kind of nervous because when I usually commentate in like big leagues, I usually get the nerves because I did try to commentate for what was it? What is it called? Let me check. For the PSGL, PSGL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I asked to commentate, I didn't get a response. So I feel like,
I
oh,
see.
well, they didn't want me then, I guess.
Or maybe they're filled up right now and they have a lot of stuff to do. I'm sure they'll want you in the future, you know.
Well, they did say earlier they needed someone to commentate for them, so I thought I should give a shot.
Yeah, you know, why not? Try it out and see how it works out. Well, hopefully in the future, you know, we'll see how it all works out. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun race here. I think commentary is all about having fun. You know, that's the number one priority. When I'm always commentating, because I commentate quite a bit during the week, and so it's kind of just become a normal life to me outside of school. You know, so it's kind of become a job really. But yeah, I think the biggest thing in commentary, you may be nervous. I get nervous like every single time I commentate. I'm a little nervous right now, actually. I think the biggest thing is having fun, and that's priority, you know, having fun at least, of course. And then just, I don't know, just going for it, see how it goes, commentate on all the action, and literally, like I said, it's just about having fun.
Yeah. Another day, I see that number. Look on the Mercedes. Look on the Mercedes tab. Look on Mercedes and look at the first driver. Yeah, I'm smurfing. Another day. Every single race I commentate, I see its face.
Really? You've seen him before?
5,000 times.
Oh wow. Well, you know, there's some of those drivers. You know, like I was looking earlier today, and I saw a friend of mine that I'm friends with on Discord, and he's literally in 12 different Discord servers that I'm in.
I've got a friend who's in like 13.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's some people.
Good friends. We are good friends.
That's awesome. Well, do you know anyone else in this league?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll know them as we get underway, you know, all that sort of thing. I'll tell you before we get underway of a few people to look out for. CPI 0, Williams driver, P11.
Yeah,
he's currently leading. Yeah, he's currently leading the championship.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think I told you, I think a few days ago or something like that, I mentioned that there's a league that I have that I wanted you to commentate. I think you weren't available or something like that. Anyway, he's in that league as well, and he's insanely fast. He's in this league, and he's in a few other leagues I'm commentating, and he's very, very quick. So, driver, watch out for. Josh in the Alpine sitting 9th right now. He's super quick as well, battling for the championship. Stefano Gaming, previous gold driver. He's reserving in the Mercedes today. And he's super quick around this track. He's setting 129s, I think, in certain parts of this. So watch out for him. Lights, owner of the league, sitting 6th right now in the AlphaTauri. Super quick as well.
Yeah, he's,
watch out for him.
P4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, right now he is. Yeah, so watch out for him.
Interesting.
He is. So he took some. He wasn't here for like the past couple of rounds, and so he took some time off. But he came back. This is his first race back, and he's looking to get a good result. That's what he told me earlier on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
so those are. What were you saying?
Yeah. Also, who do you think might get the early outings? Like they just get out first session.
Well, it's all going to be about. I think these guys are probably. I'd say they probably go out like around 13 minutes. I think that's where it's going to be. It depends, of course, on this track, of course, because you got the medium drivers probably going out in Q2 because we have the Q1, Q2, Q3 format here today, full qualifying, and so I'd say it's going to be a mix though. So we'll see how it goes. But are you ready to go for the streams?
Yeah, I'm already streaming.
Oh, you're already streaming. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, well, I'll start my stream. It's going to take me a minute to get this underway, and then I'm going to start. I'll hand everything. We'll get everything underway, and then I'll come in with like a little intro, like a minute into the live stream kind of thing, and then
that's what I used to do. That's what I used to do.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, I'll do a little intro. I'll introduce you, and then we'll go from there. You know.
Yeah, 1:31.
That's the fastest time?
Yeah, and also, if I was in this racing league, I'd currently be ahead of the Ferrari.
Okay,
I hit like 1:33s. and 132s.
That's good pace, you know?
Yeah, but I usually bottle it on. I usually just destroy the lap at one of the corners, at least one of them. Alright, should I just take it away?
Well, give us a second. I'm gonna start the stream. I'm doing this thing where I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, so it takes me a minute for the stream to get underway. And so, yeah, so we're gonna do that real quickly. I'll get the WCR channel up and running and stuff like that, and then we'll come in with an intro. Did you want to do it, or do you want me to do it? I don't mind either way.
It's fine, you can do it.
Okay, so we'll do that. Let me just title this real quickly, and then we'll get underway.
So
yeah,
just take it away, yeah?
We'll give it a second. Like, I'd say maybe 2 minutes for this stream to get underway, and then once it's ready, I'll let you know, and then we go from there. You know, I'll start out with the intro, and then I'll bring you in, you know, and then we'll go from there, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another fast lap. 131.8.
Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, we'll just stay silent for a second, and then we'll go into a minute, and then we'll go into the intro, and then all that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'm live.
Nice. Just saying that allowed to share broadcasting. It's on, so.
Okay.
So they can hear me. Hallelujah. Yeah, I get described as a joker, which I don't really believe, but that's what my friends think, you know. 131.6, what lap?
And viewers, if you're watching right now, just give us 1 second. We're trying to get the streams underway, and that will begin in about 2 minutes. So give us a second here. Where is my Twitch stream? Okay, I'm gonna need to restart the stream because there is a problem. I think it's loading in.
Oh, someone's chatted on my stream. Let's check it out. Hello, Nova. How are you doing? Hope you're doing all right this evening. Four people on the stream. Jeez. I'm very good, thank you very much.
Alright, so streams are up.
That's good to
Let me
hear.
just share these. Yep. Let me just share these and then we'll get underway.
Yeah. P2. Okay. I didn't even notice there's a 131.6.
Yeah, fast time's coming in.
Mhm. Oh my god, my friend keeps on spamming hi in our chat. And I literally just said, mate, I'm doing a commentator racing league, and he's like, I don't care. Oh, that's amazing, I guess. Dondalingo. Dodeligo, I guess. I'll just call him Dude, because the first three letters kind of sound like Dude, just Dodd. So I'm just gonna say Dude. Yeah, I'm terrible. And what? 130.5. Jeez. That's almost in the 129s.
My WCR stream is not coming up. Give me 1 second here.
Yep, fine. And Stefano Aj just binned it like Lando Norris did. Well, I mean, he maybe tried to give some space. If he's smurfing. Why are you a smurf? Are you a smurf? Smurfing? Josh. Second in the championship. Not the greatest time. And someone's out. And someone's out. Someone's out of the race. You never see this in your life. He's just binned it. He's just binned it, so whoa. Oof. Big oof. There for the lad in the Ferrari. And he just cuts. Okay, amazing. Bravo. Just cut in every single corner so he can't set up a lap and then do one in the final one. Genius. Never knew that, Sherlock. You've got 7 minutes left, Sherlock, so I think you should be go up and going, mister. Otherwise you'll probably be ended in this qualifying session. Wait a minute. Alright, I don't really know what to do here, because... What is he doing?
Okay,
what is he doing? Little cow, what a cow. Like a, I don't know, like a person in the middle of the street doing absolutely nothing but just sitting there. When he comes out of the pits, he almost hits him. What a tosser. What a tosser, doesn't know what life. Doesn't know life. I am terrible.
Okay, so viewers, give us 1 second here. We are ready to go, and I'm just posting the links now.
Zero guy is out. Championship leader's out. Q1. Championship leaders out. This is the greatest shock you'll see of your life. Dan Gdansk Gdansk can't set a lap here. Mr. Gdansk can't set a lap here. Or did you try to name?
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Alright, so we're gonna start here.
Yeah.
I have everything up and running, so I'll take it away.
That's fine. Dan Gdansk. I don't know.
Alright, hello and welcome everyone to the Russian Grand Prix. This is the WCR Diamond Class race here at the Sochi Autodrome. We're here in Sochi, Russia for the Russian Grand Prix in Diamond Class, round 14 of the Season 5 Championship event, and we're ready to get this race underway here in Russia. Let's talk about where we are before we get this race underway. We're in Sochi, Russia, which is located just off the Black Sea in northern Russia. The fun fact about Sochi itself, in 2014 it hosted the Winter Olympics, which is also where the track is held as well. In terms of the track itself, we've got turns of 18 14 and a circuit length of 5.848 kilometers. That's 3.634 miles long. There's 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking, one down the pit straight, and that's in between the last turn and turn 2, which a lot of people mistake as turn 1, including myself, of course. So turn 2, that's going to be the best place to make an overtake, maybe down the inside or going around the outside, but of course you can't go wide because you can get an invalidation. There's also a DRS zone in between turn 10 and turn 13, so you can send it down the inside on your rivals coming down into that tight 13 and 14 section. So with the details of the track aside, let's get into the Grand Prix. You join us with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of the Q1 session here today for the Diamond Classes race in Season 5. This is round 14 at the Russian Grand Prix. It's good to be back. It's been a while since we've been commentating on WCR. First off, I want to say thank you so much for joining us so far. I've seen a few comments, all that sort of thing come in, a few likes, subscribers as well. And if you guys have not already subscribed to the WCR content channel, to see more content on there, also subscribe to or follow on the Twitch channel that we're streaming on, the Formula Jonah Twitch channel, and also subscribe to my co-commentators channel as well. So welcome to the commentary booth, to this list. It's good to have you with us. Can you just kind of introduce yourself to all our viewers watching right now?
Hello. Okay, hello. I'm going to be from now on, pretty much joining every single race in the commentary box. Sometimes with him, sometimes not. You never know. But just hoping for a clean race here, because I don't like dirtiness, or you'll be kicked out. Whatever you do, you can't be a bad person. Yeah, that's done.
All right, well, we're good to have you with us here today. Exciting to have, of course, another commentator in the booth as well. So, Snag Gaming, I do believe that's your name
Just
here
call
on
me Dom.
PlayStation. All right, all right. So, Don, welcome to the commentary booth. We're glad to have you with us. So, the commentary lineup for today, guys, is Don, and beside him, of course, is myself,
Dom.
Formula Jonah. So,
sorry,
what'd you say?
Dom. As in, like...
Dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to call you Snag Gaming. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, fine.
All right. So we have Stefano Gaming on top right now, the reserve driver for Mercedes. A 130.5 is the Mercedes driver as we come into the final moments of Q1. So a few drivers yet to set a lap time. Troye, Gadan, Lights. 3 drivers, I think, that are going to be looking to set a lap time. The 2 AlphaTauris down in 17th and 18th as it stands with no current lap time on the board. Now, my question is for you. Will they be able to make it out? Lights returning to WCR after taking some time off. He hasn't raced since Austria. He now comes into Russia. Gadan as well. He was in the previous Grand Prix, of course. Can he make it into qualifying? And what about Troy A as well? And also Smurfing, Dodaligo as well. Donsta, are they on the board of possibly being knocked out in Q1? Give us all your thoughts on that.
In my opinion, it's just going to be 100% the Ferrari will be out because he has crashed out. The fact that Lights hasn't set a lap yet, but he'll probably fit one in as soon as possible. But the fact that both AlphaTauris haven't set a lap is really intriguing me. And also lots of people going on softs, no one on meds, so mediums basically. And so I don't see really strategic-wise what is going to happen, because possibly it can rain, and if you have mediums or hards, you'd possibly know that. So that it will be a knife, basically a stab in the dark, on what happens in the race. Like, if it's going to be raining, if it's going to be sunny all race, you never know.
Yeah, you don't know, and that's the thing, is that it could be raining, like you mentioned. We don't know about strategy as well. Starting from the back can be quite difficult. But I know one driver that's not going to be starting in the back is Iris Donsta, as he goes P12, puts himself up into the top 12. It looks like the two AlphaTauris are yet to settle lap time. I think Gadan is coming to the line now. What can he put as he goes? P13 puts him safely up into the top positions. What about Lights as he crosses the line, goes P2 and sets a 1:30.6, just 1/10 down off of the fastest time in Q1. Good lap time from Lights, puts himself up there as well. So that means that this is the qualifying. The Q1 elimination is Peppa Slig, who did retire early on. He starts P19. Smurfing and Donsta, or sorry, not Donsta, Dodoligo are out of qualifying, and I do believe McDutchface as well is out of qualifying. So those are the bottom 4. Unless it's going to be the bottom 5, I don't believe so. I think it'll be 16th down. So McDutchface, Dodoligo, Smurfing, and Peppa are all out of qualifying here in WCR. Hopefully they'll be coming through to the race. But that is Q1. We now move on to Q2. And you mentioned just a moment ago that strategy is going to be a very interesting thing. We should definitely talk about that now that we've kind of brought that into this race. In terms of strategy, what do we think is going to be the best if it doesn't rain, of course? Because if it does rain, you mentioned that if it does rain, this will kind of affect the tire strategy itself heading into the Grand Prix. But since it's Q2, they have whatever tire they qualifying on in the Q2 session will be whatever tire they start on in the Grand Prix itself. So if you were one of these drivers in today's race, what would you do in terms of strategy, and what tire would you qualify on in Q2?
So basically, I'd probably, because I'd probably be more at the back. So basically, what I say is like run long into the race, and then get a late pit stop, so you can have fresh tyres, while others will be on like old mediums or like old hards, for example. And you can just go straight through the pack and possibly get some points.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. You know, I mean, this could be a very interesting strategy, you know, in terms of, like, how these tires last. Because that's what I'm curious about, is what are these drivers going to do in terms of strategy, in terms of how long they'll last on track? We don't know, really. So we will find out how that all works out. But I think we're just going to have to find out what happens. You know, will drivers want to qualify on the softs and maybe to a hard tire, or will they want to go medium soft? That could be an option as well. I've seen the softs go from lap 13 all the way to the end of the Grand Prix, and that was with no safety cars as well when I raced that. And so it's possible that could be a strategy as well. So I think it's just all about no safety cars, no rain to intervene, you know, and then we'll see what these drivers can do.
Yes, I could totally agree with that. And now I'm looking at the mediums tab. In Q1, no one was on mediums or hards. Now, pretty much half the grid is now on mediums. I think like 7 or 6. Yep, 7. And then that's 7 again. No, 8 on the softs. Pretty decent strategy. Oh, sorry, my bad. Now someone else is on the mediums. Looks like everyone is now going mediums to have a better grab of that strategy and know what's going to go and surround them. Pretty nice one.
Yeah, we'll see how it all works out. You know, I mean, half the grid seems like they're on the medium tire. Some of the other grid seems like they're on the soft tire. So who knows what's going to really happen. Right now, we got the two Red Bulls that are on mediums. They are reserving in the Red Bulls today because I do believe Clarky is in one of the Red Bulls, and I do believe Nigel is in the second Red Bull. So Donsta and Dutchman are both on the medium compound tires and reserving for the Red Bull team. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. Lights Deary on the soft compound tires. Game for Life, Troy, King David, IRS Hella High, all on the soft compound tires. Everyone else is on the mediums. And actually, as I say that, CPI Zero is also on the soft compound tires as well. I didn't catch that driver. And speaking of CPI Zero, I think this is a good time to talk about championship, and particularly him. He's leading the championship as we head into pretty much the end game now. We're heading into the final few rounds of the season, and we still have a lot more races to go, but we're heading into that point where I think every point is going to count, because the championship is getting nearer and nearer and nearer to wrapping up. And so CPI Zero, if he gets a good result here today, that'll really put him as the leading favorite coming down into the final few rounds of this championship, of course.
Yes, I totally agree with that statement, and I feel like that maybe Josh. So let's say Zero might DNF. Josh, if he wins, or no, if he just wins, he'll just jump. He'll just jump straight up to P1, and that'll just be a bit of a downfall for the Williams parties, and it'll be a pretty bad day for Zero if he DNFs, because that can just have a big effect on his form and championship.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. If Zero does DNF and Josh scores the maximum amount of points, which would be 26, that would jump Josh up into the lead of the championship. So it's all about Zero. If he doesn't crash out and still is, I mean, of course, as he goes pole position, 131.5, Zero is a driver to consistently grab points, and I think he's going to be on that form here today. He seems very quick already here in Russia, and if he can just consistently score points over Josh, he can keep that championship lead going into the final few rounds. It's going to be really close, and here's the thing, guys, as well, is that the championship is not just between Josh and Zero. That's what's so great about WCR, is that there's so many other contenders for this championship. Now, at this time, Shabby 2K, who is in third in the championship, 133 points for the Mercedes driver, he is not here today. Hopefully we'll see him at the next one, but right now, Shabby is still in contention of the championship. Lights is also there as well. Now he's 59 points behind the rest of the field, but he is in contention for that championship. So if Lights scores mega points today, and maybe Josh and Zero both DNF, then Lights will be in really good condition of taking the lead of the championship in at least the next 2 rounds.
Yes, 100%. And also, if Mercedes outbeat both Williams teammates, well, let's say one of the Williams DNFs, and then the Mercedes get a good all-round good performance, and the rest just not do their best. Like, for example, let's say 8 doesn't do his hardest and spins it into a wall and crashes out, and then maybe Zero might have the same effect, and then Mercedes gets a good performance, getting more than 13 points, or just getting 13 points, will give them the Constructors' Championship lead, which can really affect the teams that are really within reach of that first place in the Constructors. Pretty much many teams, like it's from 7th to 1st, I think we'll have a big chance to still get it, because like Red Bull, they're only 92 points behind. I've never seen this championship this close, in my opinion.
Yeah, the championship is super close heading into these final few rounds of WCR Diamond class, and I mean, who knows what's going to happen at the end of this. So many constructors, so many drivers in for a shot of winning this. It's going to be a huge fight heading down to the final few rounds. But today we're focusing on the Russian Grand Prix here at the Sochi Autodrome in Sochi, Russia, of course. Lots of drivers out there on track trying to set a good lap time. Right now, we're on board with 8,000 RPM in the Williams car, coming through turn 7 as we head into one of the most difficult parts of the track itself. Through turn 9, you don't want to hit that curve. That can send you a little wide into turn 9 as we come down into 10. And let's see what 8,000 RPM's sector time is going to be as he comes through the second sector. Now DRS enabled as he comes into that second sector. Let's see how this works out for the Williams driver. Oh, I don't have where is my lap? There it is. So I didn't get it. Dang it. I thought I had it on there, but oh well. Yeah, 8,000 RPM looked really quick through that section. Now through sector 3 we go into the chicane. That is one of the most difficult chicanes on any Formula 1 calendar as we come through the last 2 double right-handers. This is of 17 and 18. Final corner. What is 8,000 RPM going to do on these medium compound tires? He stays P7. He's just 2/10 up on time. He was able to improve, but did not go higher on that leaderboard there. Now, for 8,000 RPM, since he didn't improve on that position, do you think he's going to have to go out again if he's going to make it into Q3 on these medium compound tires?
It is possible when, like, let's say he gets damaged and he needs to go in for repairs and it'll be close to ending and he was just sitting in the garage for a long time. And then those three that haven't set a lap yet, it's SpongeBob, Troy, and King David, might just jump up him, and then maybe some people behind him can jump up him. We already know Dutchman would be out because he's out and in the elimination zone. And Gay Dan also not having the best performance, currently with a 135.1, but I'd take that back because he's 132.1, so he just went up by 3 seconds, to be honest. And there's nothing really to talk about other than 8,000 RPM, in my opinion's chances can be on the line here.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, he's P7 as it stands. I think one driver that's probably gonna be trying to beat 8,000 RPM's time is Troy, as SpongeBob just put it P6 on the medium compound tires of 131.7, and he's very close to Hella High's time, as Troy goes purple through the first sector, coming through 6 and 7. The double left or right-handers this is, as we come through the double left-handers again through turn 8 and 9. Very difficult corners. Oh, he loses the car a little bit through the right-hander at turn 10 now. Let's see what he can do through the second sector. Can he go purple through that section? He's getting very close to the wall as he's using everything he can to try and go fastest overall. What is his time? Ooh, it is purple. Through the second sector, Troy is absolutely flying right now, and Troy's got a good shot at this championship as well, and if he gets some mega points today, he might be able to do that. Through the chicane, we go into 15 and 16. What could Troy do as he comes around that corner? Gets right between the curb, perfect, as he comes through the double right-handers of 17 and 18 through the last corner. Now, what can Troy do? As he comes across the line, he puts a P5 on the medium compound tires, puts it into the top 5 for Ferrari. Well done to Troy, and that's definitely him into Q3.
Yes, 100%. He is 100% in Q3 with 5 minutes left to go in this Q2 session. And 8,000 RPM really needs to either A, go on the softs to get a good lap time, or B, just needs to go out again and improve his traction control going into those last couple of corners, because when I was watching it, it wasn't really the greatest. And as I speak, he has just changed it to softs, because I can see here on the tyres tab, it just changed from mediums and then pop, it's softs. What a magic trick. Very good quality magic trick.
Yes, definitely. Well, I think a few drivers will be doing the same here. I mean, King David coming into the pit lane, the McLaren driver, is one of the out of 2 drivers on track right now. He's coming into the pit lane for, I'm assuming, going to change over to the soft compound tires. Same with Squad's Game for Life, Donsta, Gadan as well in P10, and 8,000 RPM. I'd say probably from... If they're all... Wait, okay, so if they're all going to go on the soft compound tires, as one of them is doing that, that's Squad's coming out of the pit lane on the fresh set of soft compound tires. If all those drivers go out on the softs, that means that the drivers, pretty much top 8, might be at risk for getting out of Q... well, they might be out of Q3. You know, that's a possibility, to be honest. So I'm particularly looking at SpongeBob and Deary, the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers. They're looking 7th and 8th right now, but they could be at risk if all the other drivers behind them are on the softs and improve on their times, because of course the softs are faster than the mediums, especially for around here. Then that means that SpongeBob and Deary could be sitting P13 and P14 at the end of this. SpongeBob most likely could be going out again. But the problem is that Deary is not going out. So this could be a little bit of an issue unless these drivers decide not to come out. Well, right now we got Squads and King David going out of the pit lane, so they most likely will be improving on their times. That could push 8,000 RPM and Gadan out of the bottom 10, but we will find out.
Yes, that is 100% true and qualified as a possessive reality, but the fact is that both I feel like both people in the top 2, Josh and Stefano, I think have got their Q3 position sealed, because I mean half the pack has DNF'd, and also more of the back, I'm not trying to really offend them, but I don't think they will have the pace to somehow save their Q2 to get themselves into Q3. And as I speak, Donista has just gone adios and has retired.
So that means that some of those drivers could be starting towards the back, but to be honest, that is not the best. That is the it's not the worst, I gotta say, because the thing is that if you start like P11 or P12 in the Grand Prix, that is actually a really good position because you can choose whatever tire you really choose. You'll be the first to do that. Out of the bottom runners here today. So like if you start P11, you can maybe put on the medium tire, and right now the only two drivers actually that are on the mediums is Troya and Stefano Gaming, so you'll have a pretty big advantage if you start 11th on the medium compound tires. Same with 12th and pretty much all those positions down from 11th. So who knows what can happen, but I think a few of these drivers will be looking to get out of those positions right now. King David is about to start his lap. Let's see what he can do. Let's take an onboard with McLaren as he comes through the pit straight and a full onboard of the Russian Grand Prix. Through turn 1 we go, a flat out section. That's actually a turn. It is considered turn 1 as we come down the long straight down to turn 2 into that very tight first heavy braking zone. Through turn 3, the long left-hander. You go all the way to the other side of the track around that lawn section there. Into turn 4, you just swipe the car a little bit right there. Make sure to go right between the curb as King David did perfectly there. Same sort of exits for this as King David goes purple in the first sector on the soft compound tires, looking pretty good. Through turn 6, flat out through there. Into turn 7 now through the right-hander, looking pretty good as he gets right on the curb to the left. That's perfect for him. Turn 8 and turn 9 now. You don't want to get too wide. You want to hit the blue curb as unfortunately King David did go too wide and invalidated his time. So King David is going to be out of qualifying, sitting P12. Gadan will not make it to Q3, so that is going to be the end of Q2 today. It is going to be Gadan, King David, Game for Life, Donsta, and Crazy Dutchman out of Q2, and the drivers that make it into Q3 will be Stefano Gaming, Josh, Zero, Lights, Troy, Hella High, SpongeBob, Deary, 8,000 RPM, and Squads.
So basically, everyone had a shot at being the best they can be. Very, very good try for Dan to try and scrape in a Q3 and try and help out Lights with his not the greatest return, because I mean, if he really wants to get that championship, he needs to perform in and actually somehow get within reach in Stefano. I'm not trying to offend him, but in my opinion, I think he can do a bit better if a reserve can beat him. And to add on that, King David actually did have a good performance. So did Gadan, and pretty much every single person in the elimination zone, except Crazy Dutchman. Again, nothing to make you mad or anything, but I mean, yes, mistakes happen, but how can you DNF very easy? The problem is, if you DNF very early and very easily into the race, that can cost you very various lots of form and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes do happen. You know, all these drivers can improve, of course, and sometimes these things just happen. You know, Russia can be a very difficult track to master. I know that from experience, from actually driving this track, and it is a very difficult track to master. So sometimes crashes do happen, and they will move on to the race, of course. And so that does conclude the Q2 session here in WCR Diamond Class, round 14 at the Russian Grand Prix. Stefano Gaming is fastest on the medium compound tires. Well done to him. The rest of the drivers that did qualify on the mediums would be Stefano Gaming, Troy, SpongeBob, and 8,000 RPM. All qualified on the mediums, the rest all on softs. Gadan, King David, Game for Life, Donsta, and Dutchman are the drivers out of Q2. And now we head into the final part of qualifying, the most exciting part of qualifying, as we do know. It's a very exciting part of qualifying, it truly is. It's Q3, of course. You guys know all about that. This is the time where these drivers will be fighting for pole position in the Russian Grand Prix. And the thing is, guys, is that we'll talk about this a little bit more in the before the race, of course. The thing about this track is that you kind of don't really want to start on the front row. Of course, it's a great starting place, but starting on the second row is a much better solution. But before we get this race underway, before we get Q3 underway, I just quickly want to mention few things. I want to say so much thank you to everyone that joined in the comments and just the live streams and stuff like that. You guys are awesome as always. Keep up the likes. Send in your comments as well. We'd like to know anything about just what you guys would like to know. If you have any questions about the league, if you have any questions about this race for us, we will try and answer them as much as possible. Of course, we are going to be commentating on this race, but we will try and answer those as much as possible. Also, subscribe to the WCR channel to see more WCR content on Diamond Class on this YouTube channel. Also, follow the Twitch channel that you guys are watching on as well, the Formula Jonah Twitch channel. So definitely go do that. Also, subscribe to your channel as well. It's a great channel, of course. I subscribe to it, so definitely go do that as well, viewers. So with the promotions out of the way, let's get this Q3 session underway. Everyone's going to be going out on soft, so there's no need to put the tire graph up there. So question now is, from the pace that we saw in Q1 and Q2, I want to get your opinion on this, my co-commentator. What is your thoughts on this Q3 session? Who do you think will be getting pole? And while you're answering that, the viewers are welcome to also post their predictions on who do they think they'll be getting pole.
I think it's gonna be either the people that probably got the top 4 positions in Q2. I think they'll have the best chance of getting P1, and as you said earlier, it's not good to be on the front row. And also, both Red Bulls will actually be starting at the back of the grid due to both having 5-place grid penalties.
Oh yeah, you're right. Good to know. Thank you so much for informing us on that. Yeah, the Red Bulls will be having those penalties. Kind of strange that happened. I wonder why that happened, but yeah, you're right. They will be starting towards the back of the field. So we'll see how that all works out. They will hopefully make a good recovery race, and of course the Grand Prix itself. While we get this Q3 session underway, you mentioned that top 4. Who do you think is going to be getting pole position, or do you not know at this time?
At this time, I don't really have a clue, but until they set the lap times, first lap times for every single person, I will start to make a decision. But as I said earlier, probably the front runners of pole position will be the top 4, and I've already got one, Stefano Gaming. I mean, someone can take him down here in Q3, as in Q2. Josh, or however you pronounce it, almost took him down. He was only 1/10 and 100th off, with I believe a 1:30.6. I'm not sure, which was a storming lap. Very, very liked it, but didn't want to interrupt you, so I didn't really commentate on it.
All good, all good. Yep. A lot of drivers that could, you just mentioned there, a lot of drivers that are going to be able to be in contention for pole position here today. A lot of drivers that will be looking to get a good result. I think, like you mentioned, Stefano Gaming, a driver I think that could be in contention for pole position. He looks the most likely. CPI 0 championship leader at this time, could be getting that one as well. But Lights right now going purple in the second sector as Troy goes fastest overall, a 1:31.2. Can Lights beat that as he comes across the line and gets an invalidation on the last corner there as Stefano Gaming goes on pole position at 1:30.3. That's a very quick lap time from Stefano Gaming, but oh, that's super unfortunate for Lights there as he just invalidated the last corner there, as that could have been pole position, I would say, maybe P2, because Stefano Gaming went faster than what looked like was the time for Lights, but oh, that's super unfortunate for Lights there.
Yeah, as you just said, very, very depressing there for him. And 100% that might just cost him, and maybe can give him maybe some anger in his veins. And now, because of that, he can possibly do a mistake and might even crash out with all that anger probably raging through his veins, and possibly it can make him struggle even more than he currently was.
Well, I think Lights will be coming back from that one. I mean, of course, it was an invalidation on that last corner, which, of course, is going to be hurtful as well, but he'll bounce back. I think he's got still some time to go out on track and put in a better lap time, of course, and, you know, I mean, like, maybe with just the slight invalidation that he got at the last corner, maybe he'll be going to the last corner and saying, I'm not going to do that on the next try, and he definitely will be coming back from that one. I definitely see that from Lights. So we'll see how that all works out. Hopefully he'll be able to get a good result, but right now only 5 drivers have set a lap time. SpongeBob hasn't validated, Deary hasn't validated, CPI 0 I think also invalidated on his time. He's coming into the pit lane. Iris Hella High is the only driver on track that I think is about to set a lap time as he comes through the long second DRS zone on the back straight. Let's see what his sector 2 time is. I'll get the lap data there as he's purple through the second sector, a 1:04 for the Haas driver, purple for Hella High. As it stands, is it gonna be provisional pole position for the Haas driver in Russia here today? He comes around the chicane of 15 and 16 along to a mini straight as we come down the final 2 turns of 17 and 18. Is Hella High gonna come around this final turn and set pole position here in Russia? He puts it P3 on 131.2. He is just 3/100ths of a second faster than Troy there, but Hella High puts it up into the top 3. Very impressive lap from the Haas driver. I think you'll be very satisfied with that one.
Yes, that is a very shocking lap time, in a good way, obviously, because I never expected it, because in Q2, he wasn't doing the greatest. I believe he was fighting in that elimination zone, and which really pulled him down, and he's like, nah mate, I don't care about that, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. You're not going to judge me here.
Well, you know, Q1 and Q2 has got that point where I think a lot of drivers won't be pushing a ton in that current sessions. You know, I'm assuming few drivers they're probably saving their pace for the final Q3 session. Of course, their final session, that's exactly what Hella High did. Maybe saving his pace for Q3, and he's definitely done that. And he's going to be looking to improve on that time because he's got another opportunity to try and improve on that time. Now, he does have to remember that a few others will be also trying to fight him for this one. Lights as well. CPI 02 drivers, I think, that'll be looking to get a better lap time. Of course, they haven't really set a lap time. Both validated on their times, and both are in contention for the championship. I think they'll be going out for some more laps and looking to improve on that time as we head into the final few moments of Q3. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a very exciting end to this Q3 session.
Yes, that is a very true statement. I actually never expected some of these laps that just were put in, like Stefano, a reserve driver, and almost getting 129, which is in my books, it is way better than great. It is perfection, perfectione, and really not really currently now to talk about other than Zero and Stefano. He might even improve his lap. He might even improve the 130.3 and prove me wrong today, and that there will be a 129. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. We will find out how that works out. It's going to be very interesting to see what these guys can do. We just got 3 minutes to go. 129. Could we see drivers going into the 129s? You mentioned that. We definitely could be seeing that. Viewers, you can vote in the WCR chat. There's a voting there. Who will be getting pole position? You guys can vote there. There's a little poll going on right now. So definitely go do that. Go check that out, guys. So we'll see how this all works out. But we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining of the qualifying session here today in WCR. Zero is purple in the first sector. Could Zero grab pole position, or could Stefano Gaming, or Josh, or Hella High, 8,000 RPM Troye, or any of these other drivers be able to challenge any of these drivers? You know, we'll see how it all works out. It's going to be a full grid of just battling for pole position on these final few moments of qualifying. But I'm curious to see what Zero is going to do as he comes through that DRS zone. Is he going to be going purple through the second sector?
It can be possible. It can be very possible. Rounding these couple of turns, Zero might even maybe climb up to get that 129, because everyone is very close, especially Josh and Stefano. And everyone, in my opinion, still has that pace to actually set up a fabulous lap, something that you can't even resist. You can't even, like, think about it in a bad way.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zero just went P3 at 130.7. So it looked like he was... I think he lost it on the exit, though. Unfortunately, that might have cost him a few tenths. Did you see what happened there?
No, I didn't. I'm just on board with Stefano as he does his lap, which currently... No, it is amazing. I just didn't see what sector it was. So he's currently now going the final straight. He's just about to pass the 1 minute mark, so he can possibly even get a way better lap time than he had earlier. But he is only 200ths off his fastest sector 2. Very unlucky. Hopefully he gains some pace going around these last couple of corners. Hopefully he doesn't do a mistake. He can just focus on one thing, and that is getting a good lap and actually entertain us with such a great lap. And as I see, he just snaps it there.
Ooh, 130.2 does improve on that time and does go fastest once again. Can anyone else improve, though? Let's find out.
Yes, 100%. I feel like someone will improve, and I have actually two people in mind, and that is Josh and Zero. Hella High, possibly, maybe if he gets some luck going into those couple corners, especially in those very tricky sections of the track. And lots of things is going out and about, and Lights might even not set a lap. Lights?
I think...
Sorry.
What happened to Lights?
So going into the final corner, you said going into the penultimate corner, he validated his lap, which looked like to be a pole position, like second place.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been pole position, and to be honest, right now, he might be actually able to improve on that time. He is purple through the second sector. Lights could be going fastest overall. He may have lost that on that last turn there, but if he can get that last turn right this time round, he might be able to do it. Through the last turn now, can Lights do it? As he comes across the line, puts it P2! Oh, by 1/10 of a second, Lights misses out, but that was insanely close. Up at the top, can Troy improve on his time? He comes through the final corner now. Can Troy snatch pole position off of Stefano Gaming? No, he cannot. It's only P5 for the Ferrari driver. 8,000 RPM is pitting, so that means Stefano Gaming is on pole, but by just 1/10, and that was a mad qualifying to end off the WCR Russian Grand Prix qualifying. Lights almost grabbed pole position, and that was an incredibly close qualifying there from the Russian Grand Prix, but Stefano Gaming has grabbed it. What an end to that one.
What? Just 3 words. No, 4 really. What an amazing qualifying. That is how I describe it. I never seen it in my life. Like, Lights, as you said, coming back from a long, well, not really long, but well, coming back from a break at least, and almost getting pole position on his return, which is very, very impressive.
Yeah, that is incredible from Lights, showing that he has lost 0 pace there and has absolutely shown what he always has done by going and just proving that he's got the pace to do that. And that is very impressive from Lights there. Puts it P2. But the man of the hour is Stefano Gaming, a Mercedes driver that starts on pole. The reserve driver as well, just showing that he's got the pace for Diamond Glass. 1:30.230. That is the pole position time. Lights just by 1/100th of a second. Misses out on pole position. Josh grabs P2. He just missed out by 2/10 off of Lights, but to be honest, Josh and Zero, they could be going down into the first turn as leading, because whoever starts on the second row of the grid might have the better advantage. So we could see a four-way fight for the race victory on just the first turn. We could see that. The first heavy braking zone, we could see 4 different drivers battling for first position, because we could see those 2 drivers up front get away well, try and battle each other, but then they have to look in the rearview mirrors at Josh and Zero coming in with the rocket ship of the cars that they truly have, and then going and trying to make a move. We could see how it all works out, but look at the skies right now. We have a very dark sky. Kind of reminds me of the Russian Grand Prix in real life. Could we see some rain to this? Before we get underway, give us all your thoughts.
I am shattered into pieces, first of all. And also, this is what I call racing at highest level. Like, just before the esports level. Like, you never see it that much in like classic drivers that use like 100 to 115 AI level or something around that, and actually putting in amazing lap times, which you just never see every day.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, these guys are able to just put in some incredible lap times together. It's been very impressive so far. I mean, very, very well done to everyone. I mean, that time from Stefano Gaming was impressive, and like you said, almost esports levels from these guys right here, just showing that these guys have some serious pace and just some incredible action we're going to witness in the Russian Grand Prix. So, before we get this race underway, I mean, if we thought that qualifying was exciting, just wait for the Grand Prix.
Yes, 100%. And also, I am expecting at least a safety car in the first 5 laps, because sometimes, well, usually on this track, many drivers can get very, very aggressive and just can cause one of the biggest crashes I think I've ever seen, like to cause a big pile up, because as you said earlier, it's always going to be tight going into the first couple of corners, especially turn 1 and turn 2.
Yeah, you're going bold there with the the first 5 laps. We're going to get a safety car, and I gotta agree with you. I mean, that could definitely happen, you know? I mean, like you said, it could get pretty feisty out there in the first couple of corners. They're very tight, you know? It could be very interesting to see how that all works out. We could see a safety car in the first 5 laps. Of course, we don't want that, of course, because we want to see every driver succeed. But before we get the race underway, let's do the rundown of the grid. Stefano Gaming is on pole position by just 1/10th away from Lights in P2 on his comeback to WCR. He puts a P2. Let's see if those two battle it out down to the second turn. Looking down at the rest of the grid, we have Josh in P3 on the soft compound tires, and Zero. What can they do in the second row of the grid? Can they get a good start, get a good slipstream, and maybe take the lead into turn 1? We will find out. Troy's P5 alongside SpongeBob in the Alfa Romeo sitting in 6th place. Hella High on the soft compound tire starts 7th alongside 8,000 RPM in the Williams car. Hella High's teammate Squads is P9 on the soft compound, with Deary rounding off the top 10 on the 5th row of the grid. Looking down the rest of the grid, we got Gadan, David, Game for Life, and McDutchface, Doligo, Smurfing, Peppa, and the 2 Red Bulls rounding off the grid here in WCR. So it's time for the Russian Grand Prix, guys. It's good to be back here in WCR. I hope you're ready to get this race underway. I mean, we've been commentating on this for quite some time, and I think it's going to be an amazing race. I hope the viewers are ready for this one as well. And I guess all I can say is, let's get this race underway here in Russia.
Right.
So the 5 red lights are about to go out for the Grand Prix here in Russia. It's lights out and away we go, and
it's racing.
It's lights out and away. All right. So it looks like Stefano Gaming and Lights get a really good start as we head down into turn 1. Pretty good start for the second row of the grid as well. Lights and Stefano Gaming side by side as we head down to the second turn. There's the Williams going down the inside. That's 8,000 RPM as Josh goes a little wide going into turn 2. But it looks like Lights and Stefano Gaming are still side by side. Through turn 4 we go. Lights gets ahead as Zero and Josh side by side coming through turn 4. Who's going to get ahead here? Let's see how this all works out as Zero just about gets ahead, but it is Lights that gets the better start and leads down into turn 6.
Oh, Smurfing's out! Smurfing!
Oh, big crash!
He's out! No, he's in! He's... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. He's absolutely crumbled his front wing into the wall. I was just chilling, looking at other drivers while you was commentating the top 4 there, and I just noticed, just when you stopped speaking, Smurfing just done a full-on 90-degree turn straight into the wall.
Oh no, that's super unfortunate, of course. Hopefully he'll get that wing repaired and get back into this race, you know?
Yes, 100%, but it can go all bad for Mercedes, and as I said earlier, maybe it's been a reverse card here, because Alpine is actually starting to have a good one. Not Alpine, Williams is actually starting to have a more better luck than Mercedes, like if it's been reversed on what I said earlier. And Dodoligo will now try to make a move on Pepas, really gain the toe. Will he pull out to that right-hand corner? Side by side, down the inside. He backs out to hope for any big crashes, and Dodoligo straight off the bat. First penalty of the race, 2 laps in.
And the McLaren driver was looking to go down the inside on Peppa, could not make the move. There's the Red Bull of Donstedt trying to go the inside of the McLaren, could not get the move done quite yet. And what about any other action up at the front of the field? You seen any moves shaping up for any of these drivers on track?
Yes, I do. It's both Hasses in the top 10 currently, and it's actually a battle for 7th place between squads. Hella High, 8,000 RPM has just backed out, so now it's just teammate versus teammate. They go side by side, and Hella High is done in it, and he takes P7. Other fights around, it's Dan and 8,000 RPM currently fighting for P9.
Oh, King David now on 8,000.
Yeah, King David, exactly. I was just about to notice that. Thank you for reminding me, I guess.
All good, all good. Here he goes, down the inside. Is he going to make the move? Ooh, it's so close to contact, but King David gets the move. What a brilliant overtake that was from the McLaren driver.
DRS has now been switched on by the FIA stewards and going down all the way the grid. And Game for Life and Dutchman, who has disconnected, it looks like. Dutchman and Game for Life both disconnecting. And both currently P17 and P18. Also, Derry trying to make a move on Donstar. They're really pushing the limits on that Alfa Romeo car, while his teammate all the way up in P6. Not the greatest save for Derry currently, and this can cost badly for him.
Yeah, we'll see how that all works out. Derry is on the soft compound tires, remember, so he is going to be flying against his rivals. Same with Game for Life as well. Those two are probably going to be going and making some moves. Speaking of, one driver is making a move. It's Donsta up into P14 now. The Red Bull driver makes an overtake, and he's up into 14th. Up at the front of the field, we have a very close battle for P3. Josh is starting to close a little bit on Zero, and the gap from second to third is now 1.6 seconds. I think Zero might be losing a little time to Josh here, who's starting to put the pressure on the Williams driver. Now, this is expected because Josh is on the soft compound tires, remember, viewers, and so those softs are going to be much fresher than the medium compound tires, but those mediums are going to be faster. I'd say around lap 6 or something like that. We'll see the mediums coming into a more better tire than the softs, but for now, the softs are the better tire, and we're going to see Josh maybe making an overtake on Zero this time round. Here he comes. DRS enabled for the Alpine on the Williams. The two championship contenders are going to go side by side through through turn 2. Is Zero gonna back off of this one? Yes, unfortunately, he has to, but he's gonna try and fight this one back, but it looks like, just for now, Josh gets ahead into P3 now, so good move from the Alpine. Zero was looking to go side-by-side with his rival in the championship, but could not go side-by-side at that particular corner.
Yes, and there's... Oh, Josh!
Oh, Josh, what?
Smurfing's out.
Yep, Smurfing is out. What happened to Smurfing?
I believe he binned into wall. My game's glitched because it says Josh is in last place. Okay, never mind. The game's all good now.
Weird.
And there's also a big fight for P16. The two lagged out boys, Gaming for Life and Dutchman, trying to take on Pepper here. And also another fight, I think we're just about to unrave, is going all the way to, once again. It's the Williams and the Alpine. It's pretty much the blue war here of Josh versus Zero all over again. And Troy might even get a taster.
Yeah, Troy is starting to close up on these two right here. We could see Troy getting involved in this battle for third. And keep an eye on SpongeBob right there. He's starting to gain a little bit of time. Yellow flag through turn 16. I think that might have been the Alfa Romeo of Deary, who's down to P15. Or that might have been a different driver. But here comes CPI Zero on Josh. This is round 2 of this fight between the two. And let's see if CPI Zero can retake third place. And you know what? He has. He's taken back third place. And CPI Zero puts himself back up into the podium positions.
Yes, and there's another fight going on. Once again, it's... this time it's Aston Martin versus Williams. It's Mick Dutchface against 8,000 RPM. And once again, the game is glitched, and Josh is now again in 18th. Amazing. Well done, Cody's.
I know, right? Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a glitch going on there with Josh's car. I think it's just Codemasters on the spectator screen, unfortunately getting something wrong there. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully they fixed that glitch, of course. Oh, Deary into the wall. At turn 4, I think that is. Exit at turn 5, actually. What happened to Deary? He was in the wall when I switched on board with the Alfa Romeo. Something happened to the Alfa. Did you see what was going on with Deary?
I haven't, no. I've only been focusing on this battle for P7 between Squads Dan and King David, which I'm really getting focused on because Light's teammate Dan, not having the greatest qualifying, now jumped up a couple positions. He's jumped up 3 positions.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, hella high into the pit lane. Sorry to interrupt what we were just talking about there. Hella high into the pit lane, going very early on these soft compound tires. He has chosen to go for the first driver into the pit lane as Dan now moves himself up into P6, as King David now moves himself up into P7, but is King David going to be coming under pressure from Squads, who tries to fight this one back? He goes a little off track now, but the Haas is going to try and make the move on King David, but cannot eventually. Nice little battle there for P6, as you did mention, but I gotta take it back to what was going on with Hella High. Hella High is coming into the pit lane. Do you think that strategy call there, because it doesn't look like he has any damage, so I wonder if he has chosen to go early and go for the definite 2-stop strategy?
I actually agree that he was going for the 2-stop strategy because, I mean, it can be possible for a good performance on that, and as we speak, Squads does get a penalty, and which isn't pretty good. And Squads is, I believe, done a mistake. What's happened there? He's just going slowly.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake. I think you're right. I think he must have maybe spun at the exit of turn 9, it looks like. But he did move down to P12, and he was battling for that battle between Gadan and King David, so he has lost almost 6 places. So something happened to Squads there, but hopefully he'll recover from that one.
Yes, that is true, and this game is still glitched because Josh is somehow still in P18. And on my screen, it says that he's lagged out. It just has poor connection.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. I think it's just this game glitching out a little bit with Josh's car there. Hopefully it fixes itself. It most likely will. It's just a little bit confusing at certain points. As the battle continues for 6, King David is re-overtaken Gadan and puts the McLaren car up into 6th place. Unfortunately, gets a penalty for going wide, though, at turn 2. A very difficult corner to get right, gotta say. But King David did get a penalty, and that's going to affect his result, I'd say, just a tiny bit there. He's going to have to get that gap, though, off of his rivals once we come to the final few laps of the Grand Prix. We will find out. But King David is absolutely flying right now. Purple through the first sector. He's looking to set fastest lap, starting to gain a little bit of time on SpongeBob. It's looking pretty good for the McLaren driver.
Yes, that is also very true. Very good performance all round for him. He just hopes that either Dan will just get a 3-second penalty, and if they keep on fighting throughout the end of the race, and King David will keep his P6, it will just be that P6 will just be Gadan, and that P6 will just be handed over to David, and Gadan will miss out on some key points for AlphaTauri. And there's also, once again, the two lagged out boys, Dutchman and Game for Life, and Hella High jumping in the buzz for that fight for P12. It's a 4-way battle here. Look at this.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. I do believe there's 2 ghosted cars, unfortunately, in that battle, so it's mainly just a battle between Peppa and Hella High. Hella High puts himself up into P12, though, so that's good for the Haas driver. Puts himself up there. Peppa down to P13. He's struggling, though, with those mediums, I think. I think Hella High's got newer tires, of course. But back up to the front, we got to keep an eye on the battle for 4th place, or actually for 3rd place. CPI 0 versus Troy. This is the closest battle we're seeing. Also, by the way, viewers, you might be a little confused with what's going on. There is an Alpine right behind them. That is Josh. It says he's P18. He is not P18. He is still in the race. It just shows that the Alpine is ghosted, which is he is not ghosted, guys. Just I wanted to clear that all up. So there is a 3-way fight for 3rd in this Grand Prix, but I guess we should probably talk about that battle for P1. We haven't really talked about it a lot, just except the first lap, of course. But Stefano Gaming still holding a 1.3 second gap to Lights. Lights is doing an amazing job right now. Now, okay, I want to get your thoughts on this. If you were Stefano Gaming, what would you do in this situation? Would you maybe just stick behind with the same gap, or would you push on Lights? Would you try and gain that gap, then overtake Lights? Or, like I said before, would you just stick behind, do what Stefano Gaming is actually looking like he's doing, and then just go for the undercut strategy, then fight then? What would your thoughts on that be?
You literally just said what I was about to say.
Okay.
I was going to say, if I was Stefano Gaming, I'd push hard, and I'd push hard on those medium compound tyres, and because Lights is also on the mediums, try and get the best and just try and undercut him. So basically, let's say Stefano pits, and then Lights pits a lap after. Bosh, Stefano is maybe P1, because Stefano will catch up on the new tyres that he will have, either softs or hards, because when I looked on the formation lap, predicted strategy was medium to hards or mediums to softs. And if Stefano takes the softs and Lights will take the hards, Stefano will have a very big gap pace-wise, because as we know, hards are not the greatest compound if you're trying to battle someone for a position.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a really difficult situation here because, like you said, I think undercut is going to be most likely the best situation. Stefano gaining a little time on Lights, but I think you are right. I think the undercut is going to be the best option for Stefano Gaming here. I think Stefano will most likely pit, I'd say maybe 2 laps before Lights. Problem is that how can he figure that out? How can he know when Lights is pitting? He's just going to have to kind of go for it, you know, and see how it works out. But I think you're right. I think hards is probably going to be the best situation here. But the thing is that you're going to lose time. That's what we talked about. You know, we just talked about that the hards are not the best tire for around here. So if you pit for the hards, then you might be in a difficult situation. And right now, if you bet on the mediums, you'll make it to the end. So it's possible that the better strategy in this situation would be a medium to soft strategy. That could be a full course safety car, and it is a full course safety car that has been deployed on lap 9. So we get our first safety car out on track because Deary has retired at a turn, I think exited turn 10, exit of turn 9. Something happened to Deary. Unfortunate to see that, of course, but these things do happen.
Yes, it is very unfortunate for Derry, and this can really contribute the fact that he can easily slip, and that can also cost form and cost valuable points to teams. And finally, Josh is back where he was supposed to be.
Oh, hey. Good. He is back in P5.
Yeah, but the interval's kind of messed up.
Yeah, interval's pretty messed up right now. It says 54 seconds for me right now. For Josh, most likely he will. That will most likely fix. But yeah, a little bit of glitch going on there. So now that the safety car has been deployed, will Lights pit? Let's find out.
No. Oh, he will. Stefano's pin as well. So basically, oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I feel like many drivers will now pit. Like, probably lots of people in the pack now will probably pit because McDuff facing the pits, RPM, will Donster go into the pits now, with Dodelingo, okay, I'm not going to just pronounce it, Donster in the pits, the McLaren in the pits, will Hella High follow? No! He's staying out. He's like, nah, I want to be P1.
Well, to be honest, I kind of see Hella High's strategy here because he's on 4-lap-old mediums and he can go long on these tires.
Yeah, and I was right by strategy. Lights is going to go hard, and Stefano went soft. Oh. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. I expected it.
You're right. Yeah, that's really unexpected, to be honest, and now that gives us a huge talking point in this race. So why has Lights pit for the hard compound tires, and why is Stefano pit for the soft? So they believe, Stefano Gaming, Zero, and Troy believe that they will make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Yes, viewers, the end of the Grand Prix on the soft compound tires. That is very interesting, and if that is true, it's done. I think that might give them first place, because the reason why is that Lights is going to be a little bit slower than those soft compound tires, because of course he is on the hard compound tires, and the hards are much slower than the softs. But I think what's going to be critical for Lights is that he keeps ahead of Stefano Gaming. It's going to be really difficult, and if he pulls this off, it's going to go definitely into the history books, but it's going to be an insanely difficult task to do. But I don't know. How is this going to work out?
Well, I feel like Lights chose the hards because he felt like he was like, well, I might not have the pace, but I will have better like ground and has better tyre wear. On Stefano, on the other hand, he's thinking of like a 2-stop because I don't really, or he can just make it till the end because I have seen a 13-lap soft. But I haven't seen a 16-lap one, so I really want to find out what Stefano's planning. The only thing that I can think of Stefano planning is if I will have the pace, but I might not have the greatest tyre wear, and that can cause me to drop back, and Lights might overtake me and win it, like it was since like lap 3 or something, lap 1. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work out. It's a super unknown call right here from a lot of these guys. And who knows what could happen. Could the softs be faster? Could the hards be faster towards the end of the Grand Prix? Or could we have a very interesting strategy here and a driver that I think will be definitely getting a podium today, Josh. Josh is on the mediums. Now, he pit for the soft. The reason why he's on the mediums is because he started on the soft compound tires. Now, that is a very interesting strategy from Josh, because now that the safety cars come out, he's going to have the best tires at the end of this, because basically he's going to have the best tires all around. All he has to do is make sure that he keeps up with the soft runners, and he could definitely do that. So What do you think about Josh? Do you think Josh could be getting a good result?
Because he's now decided. He's decided that no, I'm gonna go on the mediums. I'm gonna push hard and possibly get a win, which I actually personally think. And maybe Josh can actually overcome the people on the softs, because those mediums are just all around a good tyre compound. They're good for tyre wear, and they're pretty good for pace, as we saw in qualifying. Because Stefano in Q3, he just grabbed the mediums, and he just plonked it with a 1:30.320. And gets pole position like that on the mediums.
Yeah, mediums can be really fast. I mean, like you said, Stefano Gaming got pole position on the medium compound tires, so showing that the mediums are very quick for around here. I mean, we'll see how it all works out. I think mediums personally are a very good tire to handle for around here. I love racing with the medium tire for around here. I'm not a huge fan of the hards. To be honest, the softs are not the best tire. They're better than the hards, but they're not the best. That's just my opinion on it. But the safety car's coming in this lap. I want to get your opinion on this. Where do you think Lights will go? When do you think he's going to start this pack?
He's going to start this pack when probably the safety car will enter the final corner, and then Lights will just get the pace and speed up.
I think that's exactly what he's just done. Exactly what he said. So Lights has done exactly what you just said, but now he has to defend against Stefano Gaming. He got a really good start off of those final 2 turns there, so that was perfect for Lights, but the slipstream down to turn 2 is incredibly strong. Lights will just get ahead, and he will lead into turn 2, so that'll be good for Lights, of course. Stefano Gaming right in the back of Lights, though. We'll see how that continues on. Troy looking for the move on CPI 0. Here we go.
Troy, side by side, now going down into turn 4. Oh, there's a bit of contact, and Josh rolls up from behind, and it's 3 wide. Josh gets it, P3. He's on now. He gets the bronze medal, and can he keep it till the end? What do you think?
Ooh, I mean, that's just really helped him out. He's now got up to P3 by pulling off a sensational overtake on Troy and Zero there. So I think he might be able to do it. I think I'm going to answer your question right there. I think he could be able to grab P1 in this Grand Prix, but it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be really close between Light, Stefano, and Josh. Troy and CPI 0 are in that battle as well. SpongeBob now trying to make a move on CPI 0, and he might be battling for that win as well as he goes around the outside of the Williams driver coming through turn 14 now. The Alfa Romeo still side by side with CPI 0 as he comes through the tight chicane. Who's going to get ahead? It looks like it might be 0 as around the outside goes the Williams, and he gets ahead into P5. Good move from 0. SpongeBob did everything he could to try and fight 0, and it's not over anytime soon. Now King David is right in the back of SpongeBob as he come through the final corner now. That McLaren using ERS. Let's get telemetry on as we will get that on now. He's got a lot of ERS to spare, so King David might be going for the move on SpongeBob as he come down the long straight into turn 2. Now the McLaren driver could be going for it down to the second turn. It looks like he's just about going to stay behind that Alfa Romeo, but just close battle going on there between 5th, 6th, and 7th. Hella high right there as well. The Haas driver under pressure from Mick Dutchface as he come through turn 4 now. The Aston Martin looks to go around the outside of the Haas, but goes wide and unfortunately gets, that's hella high. That gets an invalidation now, or a 3-second penalty, of course. Meanwhile, up at the front, Josh is on the back of Stefano Gaming, who is on the back of Lights as we come through turn 9 now. Stefano Gaming might be looking for the move on Lights coming through the DRS zone into turn 13. Let's see if the Mercedes driver is going to try it on the AlphaTauri. He's coming through the exit of 10 now. He's using ERS. He's going for it. Here comes Stefano Gaming on Lights. Lights using ERS as well. They're both trying to use ERS to keep ahead. Josh is right there as well, just waiting in the background. Stefano Gaming cannot get past Lights as we come down into that heavy braking zone.
And I didn't want to interrupt you just earlier, but Pepper spun it going into, I forgot what turn that is. I believe that's turn... It's the stadium bit. It's near the stadium part.
Turn 3, I think it is?
No, it's a bit after that one. So turn 4?
Somewhere around that.
Turn 8. Turn 8.
Okay.
I think. And he spun it and he went I think he was like in the middle of the track.
Sorry to interrupt you here. We have a nice battle for P1. Almost three cars involved in this. Stefano Gaming takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Lights is now trying to defend against Josh.
Yes, that is very indeed true. And Josh will now go down the inside on Lights. Can he do it? Can he defend? Can he hold it? Yes, he can. And Josh will now take P2 in the Alpine, where he originally was in qualifying, I believe. No, P3 he was.
Well, Josh has put it up into P2, so good move from the Alpine. Going back to what you were saying just earlier ago, sorry to see Peppa spin as Josh almost spun the car. You could see the back end of the Alpine just spinning off there. Thank goodness he saved it, but he might be under pressure from Lights, who's on those hard compound tires, might have the opportunity with the DRS enabled, but no, here comes Troy. Troy's now made the move and might be making a move on Josh now. Not just one, possibly two. Troy trying to go around the outside of the Alpine. The Alpine goes a little late on the brakes. Troy going for the switchback maneuver into turn 14. Is Troy going to try and get ahead of Josh into 15 and 16? Cannot get past quite yet, but his Lights now going to try and make the move. Let's find out.
Yes, 100%. It's a big fight here for P2. Even SpongeBob getting in the mix. Maybe even King David can get into the mix. It's just a big way of a battle that you just can't hate a battle when it's just many drivers trying to go at it non-stop and actually claim a good position championship wise, because Zero needs to get a good performance because Josh is ahead of him, one of his championship rivals, which can really boil Zero's blood because he already I can tell he's that person who never gives up and always wants to be ahead of his rivals. He's that Max Verstappen kind of person.
I think Zero is looking to get ahead of Josh. I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, Josh is starting to pull away a little bit. He's going to be... Oh, Zero spins the car! No! Oh, but he saves it out of the wall! No, that's going to lose him a lot of time now. CPI Zero, this is exactly what he didn't need, of course, as CPI Zero, we were just talking about him, is down to P13. He's just spun the car, and that is going to be really hurting him for his championship hopes. He will definitely be coming back from this one, though. He will never give up, but that is really going to be hurting him coming into these final few laps.
I think she jinxed it in qualifying that one of the Williams will probably do a mistake. Because maybe he spun it because Zero had all that pressure of being P1 and being and also being behind his, I think, being behind two of his championship rivals, which really gave him more and more pressure, and then the pressure just got out of control and just spun it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened there. I think he just lost the car on the exit of the corner. Oh, is that his Lights? That has now spun it. Lights is now spun it from P2 on the grid. He started P2 in the grid, was around P4, and he has slowed down. Something happened to Lights. I think he spun on the exit of turn 2. Another spinner in the Grand Prix. Something happened to Lights, and this has not been the best of an end to a Grand Prix for Lights, as now he's going to be rejoined with his rival, the Grand Prix, CPI Zero, who's now in P13. So these two will be battling it out, but I think they'll be coming back from this one. They definitely will be. They still have 10 laps remaining, and they still have a huge chance of getting up there.
Yes, and there's going to be there's many fights to currently commentate on, and as RPM goes down the inside on Squads. Can Squads fight back side by side? Both of DRS going down just before 10. Oh, and they bang wheels. RPM probably fuming at that one. Probably a bit of an incident report there. But down the inside goes Squads again, and they touch RPM.
Ooh.
He spinned it.
Ooh, that's a difficult one there. Yep, you're right. RPM has spun the car there. Unfortunate to see that. But I think what happened there is that he spins it again. He's going to save it, though. He's going to be all good there. But I think Squads and 8,000 RPM, I think they might be going into the stewards' room. We'll see how that all works out. You did definitely call that one, of course, that the stewards most likely would look into that. But there was a little contact there. Wonder if an incident will be filed there. We don't know how that works out. But Troy has moved up into second place now. Troy has moved into second and is now further ahead of Josh. And now he's going to start chasing after Stefano Gaming. Troy could be getting the race victory here today. Meanwhile, also King David has moved himself up into P5. Any other stuff you're seeing on track, or what do you want to talk about?
There is an attack shaping up, but Dan, he's lagged out. He's lagged out. I think he's lagged out. Dan,
who has?
Dan. No, he hasn't.
Oh.
He's back in. But he's dropped. He's done a full-on drop when he was fighting with one of his rivals there. But now SpongeBob is now going to try another move on King David, fast as the speed of light in the Alfa Romeo, in the white and red Alfa Romeo, as I call it, the Polish Alfa Romeo, because it looks like a Polish flag on the engine cover. And King David needs to defend because it's 4/10 separating the two parties in the McLaren, in the orange McLaren, and in the Italian livery of the Alfa Romeo. And also going down their squads side by side with Donster down the inside. He can't make it count. He backs out to avoid any contact. There's a big fight for P7. Squads hits the back of Donster there a bit, but Squads will now pull out to the left here, to the left-hand side. Donster shuts the door
3
in.
wide.
Yeah.
It's 3 wide.
Dan's got double overtaken and it's a big fight for P7 now. Donster versus Squads versus Dan versus Zero now. Now Zero getting mixed in the buzz. And Zero, can he make a move around the outside on Dan? No, he can't. Squads, I saw there in the distance, bounces off the curb. Oh, what a trickery there from Zero. Dan can't block him, that will be known as illegal blocking. And Zero really needs to get a move after that horrible mistake going into turn 9, I believe.
Yeah, and Dan has left the session. I think he's having some lag issues here as we have Josh making a move on Troye. Josh has put him up into second place now, so good move from Josh. But yeah, Dan has left the session. I think he was having some lag issues there. That puts everyone up into 7th, 8th, and 9th now. Squads is on 11-lap-old medium compound tires. Zero is on 7-lap-old softs. So Zero could be making a move, and there he goes. He actually just made the move on Squads, but they're fighting it out. Coming through 15 and 16 now is the Williams. Oh, contact between the two there as they're still making a little bit of contact there. The Williams just about gets ahead, so Zero gets ahead of Squads and up into P8 now.
Yes, and also now Troy gets a DRS. Down the inside, he goes into turn 2. He backs out because that is a very dirty corner when it comes to overtakes, and that's really cost him because now he's flown back. And I think the same thing happened to SpongeBob, but McDutchface trying to catch up to Dan here. 3/10 separate. Yes, Dan's lagged out, and Dutch just phases through, and Squads and Zero will not stop fighting, and it's taking out my breath here. Squads.
Yeah.
Squad's really trying to defend from Zero. Jesus Christ. 3/10. Almost 2. Well, not anymore, as Squads is now starting to pull away from Zero.
I think Zero, I wonder if they made a little contact or something like that earlier on, and that may have given one of the drivers wing damage. It doesn't look like it, but Zero, I think he has to save a little bit more ERS here, because the thing is that Squads actually has similar ERS, so I think they're on similar pace right now, but of course Zero is most likely faster because he is on fresher tires, of course. So here comes Zero around the outside of the Haas driver, and it looks like it's going to work out for Zero as he makes the move down the inside for the Williams driver, puts himself up into P8, so good move from Zero.
Yes, but Squads will keep on fighting, and McDutchface is now getting in the buzz for the fight for P8 here. Zero, currently driver championship leader, really wants to defend from Zero, from Squads and McDutchface, because one mistake can one more mistake again can go horribly, and I mean horribly wrong there, as it happened just earlier for Zero, and he doesn't want that to happen again, you know.
No, of course. Zero's coming through the field, of course. He needs those championship points if he's going to be fighting with Josh, who's starting to reel in Stefano Gaming. Josh, under pressure from Troy still. Troy is going to be trying to make the move on the Alpine as soon as possible, but Stefano Gaming maybe starting to come under pressure from Josh, who's going to be starting to gaining a little bit of time on Stefano Gaming. He's going to start gaining time on that Mercedes driver as soon as possible, because those medium tires are faster than the softs at this stage in the Grand Prix. So Josh is going to be the faster driver at this stage in the race, and he's just going to get faster because those mediums are going to be faster than the softs, because the softs are going to be degrading more. So we'll see how that all works out in due time. Still great battles going on through the field. SpongeBob and King David still battling it out for 4th in this race. Also, that battle for 7th is getting really interesting. For 8th. CPI 0 still leads away squads, and McDutchface as well. Lights is on soft tires. He's 21 seconds behind, and if a safety car comes out, that could put him up into a great position as well. We will find out how that works out. But what battle are you looking at right now?
I am currently looking at McDutchface trying to take on squads here. McDutchface gets the DRS. He's trying to catch up in the green Aston Martin. And also we've got the man who's getting lapped, Dodeligo, the McLaren of the guy. Well, the McLaren in 16th has just been lapped by a couple of drivers.
Oh, Stefano Gaming! Stefano Gaming's just spun it! Stefano Gaming has just spun it! The race leader has lost it on lap 22!
The Deligo's also spun it as well!
Oh no! Lots of spins happening there. The biggest story coming out of this is that Stefano Gaming has lost the lead on lap 22 due to, I think, a spin, and now he has no front wing. Stefano Gaming is most likely out of this one here as Josh takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix now. And now here comes SpongeBob past the Mercedes that is going quite slowly here today. Stefano Gaming has spun it. This is an absolute nightmare for the driver that started on pole position, who has led most every single lap of this Grand Prix except the first couple when Lights was leading the race. Stefano Gaming now pits and will come out miles behind his rivals.
Yes, and that is very, very bad news for Mercedes, because as we know, Smurfing DNF'd, and now Stefano with that spin. Mercedes is not having a party there. And also King David is now trying to eye up a move on SpongeBob. He's really trying to get the speed and the slipstream and possibly even the ERS. He's still got like he's only got like 35 left over. SpongeBob, on the other hand, he's only got 15. And King David might even take over that, and because now he's already on almost on 40, and he can use that ERS when he gets on the DRS straight again, and he will just use the two greatest pals for overtaking in a DRS zone.
Well, and this is the thing too, now that Stefano Gaming is spun, this is the battle for the podium now. SpongeBob and King David are battling for the podium. This is pretty huge, actually, because now they're going to be battling for being on the podium, and that's a huge honor to be, of course. King David has the DRS, is looking really close to making that move on SpongeBob, cannot make it quite yet. And the thing is, too, is at this pace, with this gap, King David will be grabbing P3, due to the penalties. SpongeBob has 9 seconds time penalties, King David has 6 seconds time penalties, and Hella High has 3 seconds time penalties. Hella High could be getting a P3, and Donsta also could be getting P3 in this Grand Prix. This is coming down to the wire, guys. This is coming down to the final few laps, and also, we also have a battle for P1. Troy is now starting to gain a little time on Josh. It's all about this, though. It's all about the gaps. So we will find out how that all works out as King David makes the move on SpongeBob and puts that McLaren up into 3rd place now. McLaren on the podium would be great to see, kind of like Lando Norris in the 2021 Grand Prix, which could have happened if SpongeBob loses the car. I think he just lost the car. Yes, he did, I think. He lost the car a little bit, maybe got a little bit of damage there. I think he saved it, but he did get a little bit of damage, I think. No, he actually didn't. So either that was a glitch on my screen or he spun it and saved it. And it looks like it is the latter. I think he saved the car there. So great news there. But I gotta say, that battle for first is getting really interesting now. Troy is now losing a little bit of time, though, from what I said previously. I think it's just because of those tires. I think Josh's tires are coming into what they are meant to be. But what's your thoughts on all this?
Oh my god, Squads, he's just almost slammed into the wall there. And that's a free ticket for Zero into P7. And also, this is now also can affect Zero because points-wise, it is possible for Josh, if Zero spins again, Josh can just possibly get P1 in the Drivers' Championship, and which can really, again, blood the boils in the veins of Zero, and can really make him a bit feisty and ferocious.
Well, you know, Zero is now going to move up into P6 because SpongeBob is pitting, I'm assuming due to the damage he must have got at turn 3. Yep, it is wing damage for the Alfa Romeo. Unfortunately, we don't see it on screen at this time. But, yeah, if Zero makes one more mistake, Josh does lead the championship. But as it stands right now, Zero will still lead the championship. And it's not over anytime soon, of course. As Zero will still lead the championship. But Josh will be getting up there as well. McDutchface, I think, is spun. I think something happened possibly with Squans and McDutchface. They were very close to battling there. I wonder if there was contact between the two. I don't know exactly. But that's going to put McDutchface down to most likely P9 because Stefano Gaming is now starting to gain on the Aston Martin driver. Don't know how that's all going to work out. But yeah, the championship is going to come down to this. We will see how it all works out. Can Zero continue to lead his championship or continue to lead the championship into the next couple of races?
It can be possible. Zero can catch up, and also, I've already got my driver of the day, and also Zero almost spun it, but he did save it. He did save it.
Wow, yeah, that was very close for Zero, of course. I saw a little spin or something like that he almost had there, so thankfully he saved the car, of course. Maybe those softs are starting to become a little worn down, you know? I mean, 13 laps on the softs around here is very difficult. As Squans is out of the Grand Prix! Squans is out. He has spun off at the last couple of turns there. That's at the chicane. Ooh, that's a nasty impact for the Haas driver. That could be a VSC or a full course safety car even. I don't think it's going to be a full course. Could be a virtual, though. That could affect some results, but it doesn't look like it's going to be either.
It can affect unless there'll be one more DNF. I mean, I don't think there will be a safety car because I don't think a safety car can be deployed in the penultimate or the final lap. I am not sure. And McDutchface is out.
Oh no! So he is. I think he's retired in the pit lane. So that was intentionally. He's retired in the pit, or is that actually at the? Let's take a look at Crazy Dutchman. You can see what happened to Dutchface, and he's crashed out in the. Or no, he's retired in the pit lane. So he manually retired. In the pit lane. So surprising to see that, but that's the way it goes, you know.
And also Lights has just made a move on Dan. SpongeBob follows him behind, and SpongeBob really trying to get the speed to make a move on Lights, and he does get that. Maybe will he make a move down the inside? Not quite. He would back out for any collisions because that could possibly happen. As SpongeBob. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was very close. You saw that too.
Yeah. You're both seeing both perspectives. Not
exactly.
Yeah. Well, it currently looks like the grid is now currently starting to disintegrate. Like, there's not really much things to commentate, which I don't really like, because I really like talking.
Well, I think it's gonna. This is the final lap of the Grand Prix too, so I mean, we're just going to end it off, I guess, by saying what an incredible race that truly was. And the one driver I think we're going to be celebrating here today is Josh. He has done a brilliant job to just take hold of that soft to medium strategy. That strategy worked out for him. He was able to make that brilliant move on, I think it was King David and Troy, or maybe it was Zero and Troy.
Yeah,
then,
Zero and Troy.
When it was, yep. So yeah, he had that great move. Then he also had Stefano Gaming and Lights both made mistakes, and Josh now leads the Grand Prix and is going to be much closer to his rivals, CPI Zero, who's going to finish 6th in the Grand Prix. He's going to get some good points, and CPI Zero will most likely be in a really good position to try and make sure he keeps that championship lead into the next one by getting a better result than Josh, of course. But today, it is Josh's day as he comes around the final 2 corners here. Alpine will be celebrating as Josh comes around the final corner to win the Russian Grand Prix for Alpine.
Yep, that was an amazing drive, and there's still fights actually breaking out. It's the battle for 8th is actually still not over. It's still going left and right. SpongeBob makes a move side by side with Lights. Yeah, can he do it? Yes, he can. He will have the DRS, but at least, or unless Lights clutches it, because in the corners it looks like Lights is pretty much quicker than SpongeBob. But on straight, SpongeBob is 0. Possibly could
have. What happened to Zero?
He got a 5-second penalty, but luckily he didn't move positions. And SpongeBob will come home in P8 after that dreaded fight. Stefano has landed. Something happened to Stefano because he just stopped in the middle of the track with.
Yeah, I think he did one of those moves of crashing out at the final turn. You know, on the final lap. That's a move that a lot of drivers like to do. You know, at the end of the race to say like, I did it. You know, I made it to the end.
Thank God.
By crashing out at the end.
Like, thank God. I already know who's my driver of the day. Do you know yours?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I know mine. So I'll start out with you. Who was your driver of the day for the Russian Grand Prix?
Overall, in my opinion, he performed an amazing drive, and he kept on fighting for that P1 position, but turned out to pretty much bottle it. It was pretty unlucky for him. But my driver of the day it has to be Troy. He has to be.
All right, good pick. Of course, Troy did a great job, starting 5th, finished 2nd in the Grand Prix. In terms of my driver of the day, it's a hard one to pick, but I'm going to go King David. He did a really good job today. He started 12th, finished 3rd. That's a really good job for him. His first podium, I do believe, in Diamond class. I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. So he started P12, finished P3. Congrats to him. Yeah, well done to him. So we've given our driver of the day. Viewers, you can also vote in the comments below who is your driver of the day from the Russian Grand Prix here in WCR. But the driver that did it all was Josh, too. He takes the win here in Russia for Alpine. Started 3rd, finished 1st. I told you guys, whoever starts in the 2nd row of the grid ends up in the top 2, and that's exactly what happened to Josh. He started in the 2nd row of the grid and finished 1st in the Grand Prix, so congrats to him. He gets a really good race here today in Russia. The championship goes on. Josh and Zero were so close to just fighting it out. You know, that championship is ever closer now between the 2 drivers there. A few others will be looking to try and challenge that championship. I'm sure Shabby will be coming back next time out in the next one, of course, and I'm sure he'll be fighting for that one as well, as we do know Shabby's very quick. Wow, what an amazing race here in Russia. I want to get your opinion, Snug Gaming, from just that race. Give us everything. Give us all your thoughts on that one.
That I don't really I don't know how to comment on that one, because there's lots of things going through my head right now. But overall, it was a pretty decent race, and there was all-round amazing performances. And there's also lots of action. I don't really see lots of action in racing leagues around this Grand Prix in Sochi, of course, near the Black Sea, near Turkey as well. Really like Turkey, good nation. Especially their race strike, I love it. And overall, it's just been a pretty decent race, like any average F1 race would be.
All right, so gotta say, what a brilliant race. Gotta keep commenting on what you mentioned there. Great race that we truly witnessed here in WCR. Qualifying was amazing. The race was amazing. An intense race that lasted all the way to the final lap of the Russian Grand Prix. So we're gonna end it off here today. I gotta say, thank you.
It's fine. Yeah, same, because we actually turned out to be a good duo, if we're commentating. My pleasure.